For every UFC fan, a brutal knockout is a sight to behold, whether it is a title bout or preliminary fight. And the year 2022 wasn't any different, particularly in the lightweight category. Join us in today's video as we explore and reveal the top 7 lightweight knockouts of 2022. Number 7. Song Yadong vs. Marlon Moraes. Song Yadong announced his entry into the UFC with a bang when he knocked out Marlon Moraes in remarkable fashion at UFC Fight Night 210. The 24-year-old rising star was up against a veteran in Moraes, but somehow he found the strength and expertise to dispatch his opponent in the first round of the bout, which was held in March 2022. Not only did Yadong win the fight, but his spectacular performance earned him the award for Performance of the Night, which in turn earned him a $50,000 bonus. Number 6. Alex Pereira vs. Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland became the latest casualty of Alex Pereira at the UFC 276 event at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. In the initial stages, this bout was calm and quiet even until things exploded. Soon after, both fighters began to feel themselves out until the special moment when Pereira produced his magic signature short left hook. And before Sean Strickland could recover, Pereira followed up with even more impactful punches that condemned his opponent to the canvas. Surprisingly, Strickland somehow found his footing to stand up, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't recover when Alex Pereira dropped him a second time. Number 5. Marlon Vera vs. Dominick Cruz. Dominick Cruz was battered in fascinating style by Marlon Vera in the main event of UFC on ESPN 41. The former UFC bantamweight got off to a flying start against Vera, landing a couple of clean shots early on. However, Vera recovered exceptionally well in the third round to land a sensational head kick that settled the bout in a twinkle of an eye. Number 4. Tai Tuivasa vs. Derek Lewis. Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis promised fans a special fight, and they delivered exactly what they promised at UFC 271. Both fighters were initially quiet, but as the bout wore on, it sparked to life. Tuivasa was the first to come to life with a couple of low-strength legends, the action moving further into the cage. In response, Lewis wrapped his arms in defense against the fence and slowed down the momentum of the fight. Nonetheless, Tuivasa was able to land some shots that brought him to his knees. Seeing this, referee Dan Miragliotta returned both fighters to the center for a restart, and this time it was Lewis who came out flying out of the woods. To start with, he threw a flying knee followed by a deadly punch over the top before landing several punches in quick succession. In response, Tuivasa responded with some ferocious strikes of his own, including a sneaky elbow strike that surprisingly condemned Lewis to defeat. Number 3. Zhang Weili vs. Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Two UFC startweight legends, Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Zhang Weili, locked horns at UFC 275. The fight was primed up for whoever seized the initiative first, and immediately both fighters touched gloves and went all guns blazing. As the brawl got heated, Joanna missed an early leg kick. Eventually, Weili countered, but Joanna responded with an impressive combination that got the crowd on their feet. This arousing move was followed up by some more heated exchanges that inflicted more damage on Zhang Weili. But Weili stood firm and repelled the attack, forcing Joanna to the edge of the cage and delivering some hard shots before attempting a takedown. Joanna repelled again, however, she was made to face even more punishment. As this back and forth continued, Weili seemed to become uncomfortable. But out of nowhere, Joanna planted a spinning back fist that landed just behind the ear of her opponent. And that was just all that was needed to kill off the resolve of her opponent and earn her a special spot on our list of the top 7 lightweight knockouts of 2022. Number 2. Jamal Hill vs. Johnny Walker. The first round was all Jamal Hill needed to dispatch Johnny Walker at the UFC main event held in Las Vegas in February 2022. As a matter of fact, the entire brawl lasted only 3 minutes and was settled by a stunning and well-placed punch. But, of course, he needed some groundwork to make that happen. Ironically, Walker started as the better fighter, dishing out some early body shots and vicious attacks. But Hill brilliantly rallied and repelled the attack with a strong right hand. This was quickly followed with a devastating high right kick. Afterwards, Walker pinned Hill to the fence. Somehow, Hill found a way to break free and return some body shots of his own. Before Hill could recover, Walker planted a big right hand that stifled the score in one instance. Number 1. Michael Chandler vs. Tony Ferguson. Michael Chandler secured arguably the best knockout of his career at UFC 274 against former Bellator champion Tony Ferguson. This lightweight bout was scheduled as part of the main card event at Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona, and it did live up to expectations. The bout started with some heavy body shots from both sides. Ferguson landed a few flushes and drops in the first round. Additionally, he added a few more punches before he was surprisingly taken down midway through the first round. As the fight went on, Ferguson maintained his momentum, attempting several submission attempts and strikes. In the process, Chandler suffered a cut, but he kept his calm, fired back with some impressive shots of his own, and eventually took control of the fight. Going into the second round, Chandler came out smoking again, delivering consistent punches and body shots to drop Ferguson to the canvas.